You're still opening Ads Manager to check your meta campaigns, right? I personally stopped doing that. Not by building any complex script, I just connected Gemini 3.5 to my ad accounts and I just asked what I need. This is Antigravity, Google's new desktop app, connected to Markifact MCP server. 10 minutes to set up, and after that, Gemini has access to every ad account you've linked to Markifact. So we are setting it up live, pulling real data from a real account and pushing it further with Markifact's own AI agent at the end of the video. All right, let's get into it. Let's start by going to antigravity.google. Here you can just download the app for your Mac. So it's a desktop app, okay? So when you download the app, just open it and you will need to log in with your Gmail account. And the app will be installed on your computer. So once it's done, just open the app and let's see what we can do. So it looks like Claude Desktop. You have a chat here, you have your chat history over there, you have schedule task, and here you can select different models. Obviously, you have the new Gemini 3.5 models, but you can also use other model like Claude, okay? And you can also add actions. They call actions what we call skills in other tool like Claude, for example. But what we want to do today is to be able to connect Antigravity to our Meta account so we can get report or directly create campaign from Antigravity. So to be able to do that, we need to connect an MCP. An MCP will do the bridge between Antigravity and Meta. And for the example, we will use the Markifact MCP. Go to Markifact and create a new account, and you will land on this page. And from here, the first step is to go to Connections and connect your Meta account. So you will just need to log in with your Meta account that has access to your different ad accounts, so Markifact can access them. Okay, and the MCP will just be the bridge between this connection and Antigravity. It works the exact same way with Claude or with ChatGPT, for example. So once the connection is done, so for the example, I will do Meta, but you could do Google Ads, GA4, or any other marketing platform that you see here. Once it's done, I need to go to the MCP tab and create the connector. Okay, so I will click New MCP server that I will call Antigravity. And from here, I will just follow the instruction there on how to connect to Antigravity. So this one is a bit tricky compared to Claude. For this one, we will need to modify a small file on our desktop for Antigravity to be able to access Markifact. So we need to find this specific MCP config.json, which is what Antigravity will read to access the MCP. So to do so, a very easy technique, you just open your terminal. And inside your terminal, you just type open space -e, and then you paste that little line here you see on Markifact. And this will just open the file that we are looking for, mcp config.json. And in there, I will go back to Markifact, copy this piece of code, go back into the terminal and to the little file that we just opened, and I will just paste it right there. So this will connect remotely to Markifact using the authentication, so Antigravity can access your Markifact account. So I will obviously delete this one after the video, so you cannot use it. And this authorization is unique, so don't share it. Okay, so once it's done, I will just type Command S to save the file. And I can close that file and I can close the terminal. So we just created the bridge between Antigravity and Markifact. So let's go back to Antigravity. Here I will quit and I will reopen. So the MCP connection starts. So if I go and check here in the settings, customization, this is where you can see your different MCP servers. So you can see now that Markifact is connected, and Antigravity now has access to 9 tools that the Markifact MCP gives, if you wish, like find operation, run operation in your account, run write operation like create a campaign, list connection. So now your Antigravity can do all of that because of Markifact, and because you connected your Meta account inside Markifact, Antigravity can work on your Meta account. If you click here, there is a list of other MCPs that are already available. We won't go into detail, it's not the goal of the video, but you can check, there is plenty of other MCPs. So now we are ready, we can start asking stuff to Antigravity and select the model. So for the example, I will just use the new Gemini 3.5 Flash, and I will ask, use the Markifact MCP server, locate the Meta account AFM energy, and give me the spend for the past 7 days. So Gemini will understand that it needs to use Markifact MCP. He looked for the MCP, found Markifact, and now is using the MCP to find operation, list the different connection to be able to access my account. So Antigravity will ask you if you allow him to connect to Markifact. Obviously, you need to say OK. So now he can access, and you see he's starting to look and to connect to your Meta account. So you will probably have to validate a bunch of time at start because you need to allow Gemini to use the different tools that are inside the Markifact MCP. And there you go. So for the Meta ad account AFM Energy, we spent €700 for the past 7 days. So you saw that Gemini has been using different tools from the MCP to be able to locate the account, see how he needs to fetch the data and how to fetch the data for the past 7 days. And finally, get that information and give it back to you directly in the chat. Now let's do something a bit more complex. So we'll ask Gemini to give us a bit more information about the account. So I want you to pull the data for the past 30 days and do a breakdown by placement. So this time we are adding more dimension, not just the spend and a breakdown by date, but we ask for more dimension. So here, something to mention. You can click on allow this time, so it will ask you every time it needs to do an operation, or you can click yes and always allow, so you don't have to submit every time. And there you go. In just 37 seconds, Gemini was able to get me the data for the past 7 days. So it gave me a breakdown by platform with impression clicks, click-through rate, and it gave me a breakdown detailed by placements for Meta and for Instagram, and even for Messenger. So you see, it's quite complex compared to just asking for spend, and it took just 37 seconds. So this is just what we call read operation. So we ask the LLM to get some data and bringing it back into the chat. But you can also ask to do some stuff into your account. And why can you do that? Because Markifact MCP allows you to write in your account, like create campaign, post campaign, create new ads. A lot of people have been asking me recently, like, yeah, Meta launched their new MCP server, but we cannot really work on our account using the official Meta MCP. Yeah, because Meta didn't give you access to all the right actions to apply to your account. But Markifact MCP already created all the right action and all the read action. So you can pretty much manage your Meta account just from your LLM using Markifact MCP server. So now let's do some write operation. Okay, can you list the live ads that we have into the account and give me the result and cost per result for each of those ads for the past 30 days? So here we have a bunch of ads. As you can see, one ad is driving most of the results, and some of the ads are not generating much. So basically, it's giving me the same conclusion. So what we're going to do now, we're going to ask Gemini to actually pause some ads. And we'll just copy the ad ID. So it knows exactly which ads to pause. So now Gemini is going to use other type of operations, other tools to be able to actually pause the ads in my account. Mention that he's ready to pause the ads. But as long as it is a write operation, it needs my approval. So Gemini or Claude or whatever LLM using the Markifact MCP will never modify your account without you confirming, either pushing a button or saying confirm or yes. This is how Markifact build their MCP. They don't want to give full autonomy to your LLM. So for every write operation that will actually modify your account, you will need to validate. So if there is a mistake that is made, that's on you, that's not on the LLM. So here I will just confirm that those ads need to be paused. So now Gemini has the go, and he can use the run write operation tool to actually pause my ads. And there you go. In just 20 seconds, Gemini was able to locate those ads, pause them, and confirm it's paused. So this is very simple, like pausing some ads, but you can do way more advanced stuff. You can ask Gemini to create campaigns from scratch. You can ask Gemini to create like 50 different ads for you. You drop the image here, you just ask him to make copy, and he can do like 50 ads in a matter of minutes. So you can pretty much manage your entire Meta ad account just from Antigravity using Gemini. Or other model, you can choose the model. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because the model will just read the tools from the Markifact MCP that are at his disposal and use the good tool for the good action. So yeah, you can manage your Meta account just from Antigravity using Gemini model. You see that it's fairly quick, it's super efficient. We didn't have to chat for 5 minutes with the LLM for it to understand how to do stuff. From the get-go, it worked because the Markifact MCP is made for that. So Antigravity or Claude Desktop is one way to be able to work with Markifact, but you can also work with Markifact agents directly inside Markifact interface. So if you go back to the main page and you click on agents, this is where you can set up your AI agents and start directly chatting with your account. So you can set up the agent here, and you have a bunch of parameters that you can put. You can describe to the agent what it does, and you can give him system instruction. For example, context about your agency or about your clients or about, for example, your targets. And you can choose whatever model you want, and you can choose the new Gemini 3.5 Flash model or the 3.1 Pro. You can also set up the thinking effort low to high. And the very good thing is that you can even add your own API key. So if you have a Google plan and you already have API credit, you can put your own API key. So all the requests that we do go directly to your license and not to Markifact license. So you can also save a bunch of credits. And for the people that are on top of privacy, this is something that legal likes, using your own API key. So let's use Gemini 3.5. And from here, I can ask whatever I want, exactly like I did in Antigravity. So for example, okay, give me the spend for the past 7 days for my Meta accounts AFM Energy. So this is the exact same prompt that we gave to Gemini in Antigravity. Now we are using it directly inside Markifact. And the agent is working the exact same way. It's looking at different tools that are available inside Markifact and how we can get that data. And then it will just give us the data right here in the chat. And you can see here I'm using the Gemini 3.5 model. And there we go. We have the spend for the past 7 days for that specific account. Other thing that are super cool with the AI agent is that you can connect it to external channels. So if you want the agent to be connected to Slack and WhatsApp and chat with the agent from Slack or WhatsApp, it's totally doable. Another thing that I really like is the scheduled task in the Markifact agent. You can create tasks that the agent will run at specific time frame. So for example, here I created a daily cost per lead delta alert. So every day it will run at 9 a.m. and basically it will pull the data from my account and check the costs, the leads, and the cost per lead. And I give him the instruction like if the cost or the cost per lead changed by more than 10 or minus 10, you just send me a message to Slack in that specific channel. So I receive a notification on autopilot if something is wrong with my account. Another scheduled task that I created is a weekly report. So I ask the agent, I want you to pull the last 7 days of data, like we just did in the chat, and you send it to Slack as a notification in my workspace in a specific channel, and you run every Monday at 9 a.m. So you can create whatever task you want, like reporting or even optimization, like pause ads that aren't working or do my negative keyword exclusion based on this context. You can do pretty much anything, and you just schedule the task so the agent knows where to do them and can send you a Slack message or an email or whatever to let you know that he actually worked. And the final thing that I really like with the Markifact agent is that you can add him skills. So if you have a specific way of working at your brand or your agency and you want to give that to the agent so you work your way, you can totally do it. So you can click here and create a new skill. So for example, one skill that I created is the Google Ads keyword research, because I do a specific process for that, 4-step process for my keyword research. That's the way we do it at my agency. And I give all that explanation to the Markifact agent, and it's all written inside a skill. So then the next time I ask the agent to make a keyword research, the agent will go and look for that skill, so he knows exactly how I want the keyword research to be done. So you can really customize the agent like you work, like your agency work. You take all the knowledge and all your experience, you write this down in little skill.md files, and your agent will work exactly like you, using all the tools from Markifact. So this is why I really like also working directly in Markifact with their Markifact AI agent. That's the full setup: Antigravity, Markifact MCP, and Gemini directly on your Meta accounts. Markifact link is in the description if you want to try it. As you can see, the MCP server just takes 5 minutes from there. If you are managing PPC clients and it changes the way you work, drop it in the comments. I see you in the next one, and as I always say, happy automating.